Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So coming up here in about 10 minutes, huge. We'll get you on the phones for Clash with Kenzie. What we have for you is guaranteed entry. Passes, not pantses. We have passes for the Coheed and Cambria show coming up, our pop-up, which is free a week from Thursday. And you might be saying, well, it's free. Can't I just walk in? Yes, you can if you're the first 500 or so in line. And we have a feeling this one's going to be about 5,000 to 10,000 people trying to get in because it's Coheed and Cambria at a venue you will never see them at again. Tiny, tiny venue. That's why it's exclusive. That's why it's elite. So guaranteed entry is monstrous for this. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll get you on the phones.
Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, before we get to March Madness and Piece of Garbage Madness, how about those Bulls? Taking out the Lakers on Saturday. LeBron returns from injury. They have Luka and LeBron, and the Bulls beat them. Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Matisse Bazulis stole the show. White scored 36 points, and Bazulis scored a career-high 31 points. And Giddey had a 15-point game, 17 assists, 10 boards, 8 steals, almost a quadruple-double. I also saw just a bizarre stat, and this is a real reach. That's the only time in NBA history someone had that stat run.
Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, that's a weird stat run.
I believe that.
17 boards, 15 points, 10 boards, 15 points, 17 assists, 8 steals. But, yeah, the Bulls looking pretty good. Looking
They're
at
a
having
fun team. They're a fun team.
It's weird because we know they won't go all the way, but yet they're going to make the postseason if they keep this up, and they'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Well, they're going to be you don't want to run into them in a playoff game, in a single elimination game. The Bulls play so quick now. They play so fast and push the ball constantly. If you're not ready for that, you are in trouble.
Warning to everybody out there who might play them.
Warning to the 29 other NBA GMs that are listening right now.
Now, the
They're
Bulls,
so quick.
the Bulls are on Piece of Garbage Madness, but we'll get to that in a second because actual March Madness happened, and the Sweet 16 set up for the games maybe you care about here locally, being Big Ten. Friday night is your night. Friday at 6, you got Ole Miss versus Michigan State. Friday at 8:40, Auburn versus Michigan. And Friday at 9, Purdue at Houston. So all night, 6 to almost midnight there, you've got Big Ten basketball action in the Sweet 16. Sadly, Illinois lost. And there was, I don't know how you feel about the games over the weekend, Case. I was at Chicago Theater watching concerts all weekend, so I missed a lot of the games. And I usually love that. Sometimes I went with the concerts there.
Yeah,
I didn't have time to watch basketball.
Too busy.
Too busy. Too busy being a rock star, just doing that.
Wow.
Were you performing?
I felt like it. I was rough, hungover. But would you say there was a game that stood out, Case, over the weekend in March Madness? And by the way, how are we doing in our brackets?
I'll get to
good
that.
call.
I'll get to that in a second. Arkansas St. John was great. Baylor Duke was great for a little bit. Florida Connecticut was outstanding.
Now, I saw Florida Connecticut.
Yeah.
That was an outstanding game. That was the best game so far.
And Colorado State Maryland would be the only other game that would rival it.
Yeah.
Which I know that doesn't sound like a very good basketball game, Colorado State and Maryland, but it was fantastic. Maryland won on a last-second shot.
Yeah, I thought Connecticut was going to upset Florida, and I have Florida going to the final game against Duke. So,
As do I. I have Florida winning the entire thing.
oh, good thing they pulled it out. And they were losing the whole game. And last second came through and won. So how are we doing in our brackets?
So as of right now, between the three of us, Kenzie is in third place.
Well, she was winning Friday.
She was, but she picked Troy University to win the entire thing, and they lost, and that has created issues for Kenzie.
Come on, Troy.
I know. She has 17.9% of her bracket correct.
Let's pour one out for Troy. True Cinderella team.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't get out of the first round, but a true Cinderella team.
And they were supposed to get out of the first round, right? Didn't you say they were like the 13th round or something? What'd you say?
Well, they were the 13th seed, so they...
Play a
Does that mean
four.
the 13th round?
No, there's no, well,
I don't understand what's happening.
I can tell.
I
Okay.
don't get it.
This weekend was
no
the-
one's helping me.
okay, though, this weekend was the first and second rounds.
How
Troy,
many rounds are there?
well, it's going to go first, second, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and then that. Or 32 I skipped, so there's...
Like
There's
6 rounds.
32 rounds?
No.
No.
Oh my God.
Let me put it...
Hold on, let's count them out. Hold on. There's the round of 64, that's 1.
Yep,
The round of 32, that's 2.
that's right.
The Sweet 16, that's 3.
Yeah, I was right.
Elite 8's 4.
Elite 8, Final 4.
Final 4 is 5. Finals is 6. There's 6 rounds.
Yep. Now, what?
What's the seed thing?
It's how good they were, basically, of the 64, and they were a
What
13.
if you're like 13? You're going to be one of the last 13 teams? What does that or something?
That's not what it means.
I don't know what it means.
It means in their region, they were the 13th best team
Out of 16.
out of 16 in each region.
Okay.
So what do you think that ranks them.
I don't even have a guess because I don't really get it.
She picked Troy because her dad's name was Troy.
Yeah, I just
Is
liked
Troy.
it. I went through my entire bracket and just picked names I preferred.
Yep.
That's it.
Did they lose big? I didn't get the score on that one.
Yeah, no, they got blown out. Not
By
a good,
who?
Not a good look for Kenzie. Troy University got admittedly, I don't have that score off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
You know, I put
How
Troy
dare you?
basketball.
You knew I picked them and you didn't even look into it. Come on.
Yeah, but everything comes up usually pretty quick, and I put Troy basketball in, and it went like, what? Google, what? Did they have a basketball team?
They lost 76-57 to Kentucky.
Ah.
Kentucky very good at
And
basketball.
then Kentucky beat Illinois yesterday. So they lost in the
Yes.
first round.
So Kenzie's in last place with 17.9% of her ballot correct. I'm in second place with 32.4% of my ballot correct. And Brian is at 94.3% correct.
Whoa.
First place in our bracket challenge.
How about that?
Yeah, I know. How about them apples?
We didn't put any kind of bet on this, right? What we're going to get?
No.
Can you guys give me some money?
Absolutely not. I don't even know what's happening. I was going to give you money with it.
Yeah, give me money, please.
Brian, she picked Troy. That's not fair. It's just taking money from her at that
Can we,
point.
can we put $1,000 on it right now? Is
I
it too
just thought
late?
it would be fun if they won. I was what the big deal is. So I'm like, yeah, I like this name.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Fun.
And so remember, Friday night is all Big Ten night. Should be pretty fun. Now, with Piece of Garbage Madness, these are people and things that are pieces of garbage. There's in our bracket, which is up on our own socials. And the matchups go about every few hours over the weekend, especially. Man, it was fun. But the people who have advanced, the number one overall seed, Tiffany Henyard, of course, she advanced. The TikTok ban was a small upset. They ended up moving on. And you guys vote on this, by the way. When a matchup goes up, you vote on Facebook, Twitter, and our Instagram story. So go ahead and do that whenever a matchup pops up. I think you already knew this one. I advanced for not giving Kenzie an Oasis ticket.
And what did you beat?
Of course.
Who did I beat?
Yeah.
Let me see. My bracket closed up on me for a second. Let me see here. I beat Zoom call lovers.
Okay, all right.
They were a 5 seed. That's a big upset.
That's a big upset.
Think about that. Zoom call lovers, they suck. And I still won that one.
Yeah, you suck more.
I did. Cybertruck
Very
owners.
mean of you.
Cybertruck owners won by 100% over the CloudStrike outage.
Okay.
This was the most controversial matchup of the weekend. 6 Tipflation against a 11 seed Boomers. And there's a lot of people calling for a recount because I had Tipflation edging out Boomers at a last-second buzzer beater in overtime. But people are still saying that if you go back and count again, I think Boomers won to advance. The committee is thinking about that, of going back and counting, but the committee's also tired. The committee's me, so maybe I won't do that.
The committee was a rock star this weekend.
So I'm not sure we're going to do that, but I'll take a look at it over
I'm not sure we're going to do it.
So we'll take a look at that one.
This is such a good look into the inner workings of your mind.
A long weekend.
I can tell.
Artificial intelligence crushed the Blackhawks.
Yep.
Broccoli hair was the biggest upset. So broccoli hair, a 10 seed over 7, John Cena.
Broccoli hair. It's so cute.
Well, apparently our listeners don't. And there were some very,
Such haters.
very funny John Cena comments because they went against John Cena. To Kenzie's point, what did John Cena do at our Lizzie's broadcast?
Yeah.
And the entire crowd just shook their head. Nope.
It's a whole
What did he
thing.
do?
It's a whole thing, Kenzie.
He turned on the kids.
He what?
He turned on the kids. The kids. He's a
Like he hit him?
no.
What? What do you mean?
In the wrestling environment only.
Okay.
He hit a bunch of kids.
He did?
Yeah, I'll send you the video.
Okay.
He's friends with The Rock now, but that's bad.
Why? I love The Rock.
I know, but it's a whole thing.
Brian, you love The Rock too.
I do. This is a complicated relationship I got to go with John
Am I
Cena.
gonna get in trouble for saying I like John Cena? I need
Yeah.
to know, did he do something like cancel you?
You need to not say that you like John Cena. That's a very bad look right now.
Was he on the Epstein thing?
Yes. That's part of it.
I wish I'm so concerned. Like what?
I'll send you a Reddit thread.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Talk to Kevin about it. Kevin's got a whole thing about it.
Yep.
Okay.
New matchups, a piece of garbage madness going on shortly.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. What a prize we have set up for you for Clash with Kenzie. Guaranteed entry to the Brian and Kenzie Q101 pop-up with Coheed and Cambria.
Like anything you do, as anyone you are. Should we try this again with hope? Or is it lost? Give up the goal.
So it'll be at the Cubby Bear 1 week from Thursday. Now it's free because it's a Q101 pop-up at the Cubby Bear. Very, very nice, intimate setting across from Wrigley Field the day before opening day. Home opener, I should say. So that is Thursday, April 3rd. Download your free first-come, first-served ticket at Q101.com. And the winner gets guaranteed entry tickets to the show. Remember, you're trying to go and get in line. You have to download that free ticket at Q101.com. But this is guaranteed entry. 312-591-8300. Call now to compete in trivia against Kenzie. And then if you win, you will get them. Remember, if Kenzie wins, we'll still give them away. Sponsored by the Cubby Bear, Boost Mobile, and Modelo. So make sure you call now to compete. 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Well, we'll have these all week. It is Coheed and Cambria. The guaranteed entry passes. Now it's free. The Q101 pop-up a week from Thursday at the Cubby Bear. And you have to download your free first-come, first-served ticket at Q101.com. But this guarantees you getting in. We anticipate thousands of people in line for about 500 spots. So, yeah, this is a pretty big deal. So stay here. We'll give them away after if Kenzie wins. But Larry's going to compete right away. So, Larry, ahoy. Tell us something about yourself.
Oh, yeah. I was telling Case I do food safety.
Food safety. What does that mean?
Basically, the guy who sits there and goes, well, if you put something in the oven for this temperature, this time, you'll cook it safely every time. So don't worry about it dying.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that was a job.
I thought you were maybe like a food tester.
No, I mean, kind of. Sometimes. Depends who you ask.
Like they feed you stuff and then you go, oh, that was bad because Larry died.
What, for like the king? Like you test all the food before?
If I'm laying on my side, guys, it's not good.
Oh, boy. All right, well, here we go. First 1 to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Larry.
Tails.
It's heads. Kenzie wins.
Yeah.
Kenzie goes first. Kenzie.
Yeah.
What two colors are the rings in a bowl of Apple Jacks cereal?
Oh, green and orange.
Green and orange is right. I wouldn't have known that off the top of my head.
Oh, fake fan.
I guess
Nothing
so.
but net.
I'm not
the Apple Jacks.
I was not an Apple Jacks fan. That's probably why.
But you don't like apples. They hurt your stomach.
Apples hurt my stomach.
I don't think these apples would. It's not like real, 100% real apple and Apple Jacks.
God, I was so close to buying. Costco had the double. Like, it would have lasted weeks of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, that stuff is like crack. But I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Way to be
That's nice.
strong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I saved America by not buying that.
Wow, 1-0 back to Larry.
Larry, words like can't, don't, and I've are examples of what grammar device?
Can you say that again? Chant, don't, and what?
Can't, don't, and I've. So grammatically, what are those called?
Words.
Oh, they're words. That's right. They are.
Well,
Good guess.
I guess he's not wrong.
Isn't wrong. Not what we're looking for. What do you got, Kenzie?
A contraction.
Contractions is right.
Cannot, as an example.
Cannot. All right, here we go. Back to
Kenzie, 2-0.
Kenzie. What Pop-Tart flavor features a purple frosting base with a light blue squiggly pattern on top?
Oh.
Might have had it for breakfast this morning.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, the description was incredible.
It's a berry for sure. And I think, because I'm not going to say the other one out loud, so I think it's wild berry.
Wild berry's right.
Oh,
Good
I
job.
was like, is it grape? Because I know they have a grape.
Yeah. So they have strawberry, grape, and wild berry, and that's it?
No,
No,
brown
they've-
sugar is my queen of my life.
I was thinking in the berry family.
Oh, no, they got a
Oh.
blueberry
Yeah.
and a raspberry.
I
The
know-
raspberry's underrated.
Well, I know they have s'mores.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of flavors.
There's like a birthday cake, too.
I don't know if we need to break this down right now.
I think we do. All right, so 3-0.
And back to Larry.
Larry, you got to get one here. Larry,
All right.
in the NBA, how many seconds are on the shot clock? In the NBA.
15.
15 is not right. Kenzie, do you know about the NBA shot clock? Can you describe it first?
Hey, the shot clock?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 12.
12 is not right. Do you know what the shot clock is?
Is that when they're shooting free throws? Three throws? So you get 3 free throws?
That's exactly right.
When they get 3.
They have 24
3?
seconds to hit the free throw. That's right.
Right? 3, like the penalty, when they get, there's like a penalty and they go stand up there and then everyone stands in a line around them and then they shoot, I think 3 times.
Well, you should have said that. You would have got the point.
That's right.
But you didn't.
What? Well, I don't know how long.
Whatever you said was fine. It takes as long as it takes to get all that done from what you said. Those people lined up.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's 3-0, and it's back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, another basketball question.
She's winning, believe it or not.
What
You
is
know
it?
what? I got one basketball thing wrong. Settle down.
You might get another one. We'll see. What is it called when 16 teams are left in the NCAA basketball tournament? What is that called?
Sweet 16?
Sweet 16 is right. 4-0.
That's just because that's my association with the word 16. Like a party?
Great show. To Larry, right?
Yes.
Larry, which Christian holiday is directly related to the observance of the March equinox?
Easter.
Easter is right.
Boom, boom.
Boom. Larry's on the board, but sadly, Kenzie can win with this one question, okay?
Thank you for the support, Brian.
Gotcha.
Throw it.
Kenzie, what would you suffer from with hypertension? What would you suffer from with hypertension?
Hypertension.
Yeah. One of the biggest killers out there. Hypertension. People got to chill. Got to kick it. Relax.
I would think that, well, if it's about being tense, I would think like your blood's like is to cause heart attacks or something because your blood's like all messed up because you're tense.
Your blood's messed up. You need something a little more specific than that. Larry, do you know?
High blood pressure.
Not high blood pressure. It is low blood pressure, believe it or not. What you would suffer from hypertension, low blood pressure, which can still kill you.
That's bad.
Like I said, your blood's all tense and
Yes.
being weird.
Your blood's
so,
tense, being weird.
Okay,
Wow.
but whatever.
4-1, back to Larry.
Larry, who are the 3 accountants in The Office, the TV show The Office?
Geez.
3, 2,
Pass.
1. Oh, boy, you can't pass. Kenzie can win with this one. So, Kenzie, the 3 accountants in The Office.
Angela, Oscar, and Kevin.
And that is right, and Kenzie takes home the prize. I'm so sorry, Larry, but thank you for competing. We liked your company.
It's a lot harder than when I'm actually in the car not competing.
Yeah, I bet you say I win all the time, right?
Every time.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
I'm undefeated in the car not playing. I love that.
Well, we appreciate you competing every day, Larry. And be careful what you eat, as the message out there, because we want you around a long time.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Larry. Larry's a food tester. Thank God he does that work for us.
Yeah,
And
watch what you eat, Brian, because he's not going to test yours anymore.
oh, crap. Poison my food. Let's do this right now. Let's get into it and give away these tickets since Kenzie won.
God bless the baby.
312-591-8300. Caller 10 will get the guaranteed entry passes to Coheed and Cambria at the Cubby Bear Thursday, April 3rd. That's a week from Thursday. It's a free pop-up, but this guarantees entry. Sponsored by the Cubby Bear, Boost Mobile, and Modelo.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will pour one out for George Foreman over the weekend. A very sad loss. A lot of people have attachment to him as a boxer, as an entertainment personality, or the George Foreman Grill. We have some audio to play that I guarantee you've never heard in honor of George Foreman. But looking right now at this moment, it was 20 years ago today, and this became a thing last year when I was infatuated by 2004. And it seemed like every week we had some major anniversary that 20 years ago today this happened. I remember we got on this because I was seeing some kind of doc and TLC came up and Lisa Left Eye Lopez. And I said, man, she died, I think, over 20 years ago. It turned out she was 25 years ago.
Well, specifically what happened was we were talking about Lisa Left Eye Lopez, as we do, and you were like, remember when she burned down Andre Rison's house like 10 years ago? And I said, Brian, that was almost 30 years ago. And then you were like, oh, my concept of time, just since the pandemic, everything's off. And so we've
10 years ago. That's so funny.
So we've made a point ever since of celebrating 20-year anniversaries to try to put time in perspective.
And by the way, just to point out another one of those things that maybe is it just my brain that's messed up with time, and I think everything was more recent than it was because we were talking to Bert Kreischer last week, and I brought up how he was on the
Go ahead, sorry.
I brought up how him and Nikki Glazer, they crushed it on the Tom Brady roast, and I said in the interview with him, and thank God you guys didn't stop the interview and say, Brian, you're way wrong. I said a couple months ago, the Tom Brady roast. And Case, after we got done with the interview and got him off the phone, said, you know that was over a year ago, the Tom Brady roast, right? And I go, well, no, it was back like in December or something like that. Nope.
No, it wasn't.
It was over a year ago, the Tom Brady roast.
In fairness, the first time I saw it was a few months ago because that's when I had time to watch it. So that seemed accurate.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you were on board with me on that one.
I watched it a few months ago.
Yeah, so time is a mother effer since the pandemic. I don't know if my brain's the only one that got messed up. Taking the vaccine,
Oh, boy. Our friend Dickie Barrow will be calling in later.
I just thought I'd throw that in. It was an easy layup. But what?
Obviously, you're forgetting stuff. You should bring up the vaccine. Easy layup.
But 20 years ago today, what debuted, but one of the greatest TV shows of all time, The Office, debuted 20 years ago today, March 24th, 2005. And this show, no matter what clip we play when we're talking about something and come up either with a Family Guy clip or an Office clip, everybody listening, no matter what, has a reference point and remembers that clip and laughs very heartily at it. We've once talked about we could do a show just playing Office clips. We could take the day off and everybody be pretty happy.
Oh, my God, they'd love it.
I don't know if they love it more than the show or not, but I know we could do that.
Kenzie, do you think The Office is the funniest show of all time?
To me, yeah. I get why some people are like, rah, 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 my show is, and that's fine. I don't need to get yelled at.
What do they say?
Rah, 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 my show's funny.
Is that when you're talking to a dog or people?
That's unfortunately people. Online, but it made me laugh the hardest. It's my funniest show of all time. It just there's certain shows that people find funny that I don't find funny at all that are really popular, so I get it. I don't think The Big Bang Theory is funny at all. I've tried it multiple times, and it's never made me laugh. And that's totally fine if you feel that way about The Office, but I do think it's the funniest show of all time.
I don't think you're far off in a brave take on that one. I think most people put it in top 5 lists of the top funniest show of all time. Case, I know you love it as well.
It's fantastic. I think it's almost underrated in just how funny it is.
Well, let's give a couple clips as we'll do all morning long in honor of The Office. 20 years ago today, this is Kenzie's favorite clip. It's Diversity Day.
Oh, my God.
Does this need a setup?
Yeah, it does. Kenzie, do you want to set it up or do you want me to set it up?
Nah, is this the clip between Dwight and Pam?
Yes, it is.
I haven't heard it.
I have it labeled in our show audio folder as Kenzie's favorite.
This is my favorite. It was one of the first episodes I saw, obviously, because it's from season 1. So, Michael Scott, the boss of The Office, is in a lot of trouble for doing the exact reiteration of a Chris Rock skit. So, with all of the language. And so, basically, a man comes in to teach diversity. Michael Scott didn't think that he did a good enough job, so he's doing his own take. And everybody has to wear pieces of paper on their head and get treated as the stereotype of the race on their head. Pam has Jewish on her head. She doesn't know it. And Dwight has Asian on his head, but doesn't know it.
Correct. And this is the conversation between Pam and Dwight.
Okay, do me. Something stereotypical so I can get it really quick.
Okay, I like your food.
Outback Steakhouse. I'm Australian, mate.
Pam, come on. I like your food. No, come on. Stir the pot. Stir the melting pot, Pam. Let's do it.
If I have to do this, based on stereotypes that are totally untrue, that I do not agree with, you would maybe not be a very good driver.
Oh, man, am I a woman?
Oh, that's so good.
That's so stupid.
All right, we'll do one more in here. We'll do it all morning long, but we have the clip here named Prison Mike.
Prison Mike. I think maybe the funniest scene in the show.
And what kind of lead-in does this need?
So they merged branches between Scranton and another department, another city, and one of the guys that came over turned out to be an ex-con, and Michael was under the assumption he was convincing everybody that prison was better than Dunder Mifflin. So he put on a purple bandana and created a character called Prison Mike, and this is what Prison Mike sounds like.
I'm Prison Mike. You know why they call me Prison Mike?
Do you really expect us to believe you're somebody else?
Do you really expect me to not push you up against the wall, biatch? All right, hey, that's just the way we talk in the clink.
What's the very, very worst thing about prison?
Don't encourage him, Dwight.
The worst thing about prison was the Dementors. were flying all over the place, and they were scary, and then they come down and they suck the soul out of your body, and it hurt.
Dementors like in Harry Potter?
No, not Harry Potter.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.